Welcome back to graduation at our stadium, everybody. Class of 2022, you may be seated. Good evening. I'm Scott Sifferman, Athletic Director of Sultan Schools and teacher at Sultan Middle School. And on behalf of the Board of Directors, our Superintendent, Administration, and staff, I would like to welcome all the family, friends, and community members who are able to come here and celebrate the commencement of the class of 2022. For the friends and family that cannot be here tonight, you can let them know that tonight's graduation ceremonies are being broadcast live stream on turkpride.tv, powered by the Sultan High School Broadcast Club. Shout out to Grace Elliott. Grace, who is in Iowa watching. Pania says hi. For those who are in attendance, in the unlikely event that we have to evacuate the stadium, you will be directed to exit towards 8th Street. At this time, if we could stand and face the east end of the stadium for the playing of the national anthem by two seniors, Joey Johnston and Bobby Tudor. I met a senior the first day of web leadership training, the start of her eighth grade year. She ran into the gym, excited to see her friends, and slipped and fell on a puddle, and she went down loud and hard, and most of the laughter was her own embarrassment as she was trying to laugh it off. Ironically, she has been rising and elevating ever since then. She will be coming to the podium not only to welcome everybody as the senior class president, but she also has the honor to be one of our two valedictorians. Next year, she will attend Arizona State University, Wildcats, and she will study environmental studies with a specific interest in climate change. Please welcome the president of the class of 2022 and valedictorian, Nancy Davis.
Thank you, Mr. Sifferman. I totally forgot about that. Okay, I had about 2 weeks to write this speech, and I procrastinated writing until the night before it was due, so bear with me. Hi, I'm Nancy Davis, class of 2022, president and co-valedictorian. I'm here to welcome friends, family, staff, and the Sultan community to the class of 2022 commencement and to make a valedictorian speech. I would first like to give a shout out to the class of 21 and 20. COVID was tough for everyone, but I know it must have been hard to not get the graduation you dreamed of. I'm very grateful we're able to have an in-person graduation here today. I can't believe we finally made it. It feels like just yesterday when we had our first day of freshman year touring the different classrooms with our link group leaders. Man, that was scary. Then sophomore year, when our extended spring break begun, making TikTok with coffee and having 6 feet apart meetups. Junior year was a constant battle of teachers trying to get students to turn their cameras on during Zoom classes and also trying their best to make online learning fun. To senior year, finally being able to start full-time school again, the mask mandate being lifted and seeing people's faces that I have never seen before. Mr. Rudd had made us feel old since the first day of senior year, but we really started growing up, planning our futures and applying to colleges. Finally, having our first and final prom, and always fighting Mr. Malone in ASB meetings on how we can bend the rules to get a pep assembly. And now we're here. If COVID taught us one thing, it's that nothing is permanent. You never know when the world is going to shut down and you're left thinking, oh, I wish I would have done that. So go out and do it. I hope you all continue to live your life knowing that there's no better time than now. Whatever you have gone through the past 4 years, I'm very proud of you for getting through it. I hope you all continue to grow, learn, and try new things as you have throughout high school. Thank you to Kai, Matthew, and Courtney for being the best friends I could ever ask for. And thank you to my family and to the Johnsons and Shermans for being my second and third families. Thank you to all the staff and teachers in the Sultan School District. This would not be possible without your unconditional and amazing support. It's been a wild ride, and I'm so grateful I got to grow up with every single one of you. Congratulations, class of 2022.
Our second valedictorian, like Nancy, is graduating with a 4.0 cumulative grade point average. Not an easy feat when you consider the challenges Nancy was just sharing that this class has had to experience during their 4 years in high school. I believe that this person was able to meet the heights that he did because he got support from a tutor, or perhaps it was him that supported Bobby. Over the 4 years, this student has been in the spotlight with trumpet solos at wind ensembles and jazz band concerts. Tonight, with his speech, he gets one more solo. Next year, he will be studying chemistry at Washington State University. Go Cougs. Please welcome valedictorian Joey Johnston.
Hi, everyone. Wow, we made it, huh? It's great to see everyone here tonight, and all the faces in the stands on this wonderful evening. It's good to see all the teachers, staff, and members of the community that make up the fabric of church life. I'm grateful to be here tonight, having a traditional graduation, being able to hear and see everyone together. And before I begin, I'd also like to take a moment to acknowledge the classes of 2020 and 2021 by giving them a round of applause that they didn't get to hear. We're here tonight to give thanks, share memories, and look towards our futures. I just mentioned the fabric of Sultan High School, and when I think about it, I realize that we are all threads in the fabric that makes up one another's lives. So take a moment to look around at these people, your friends and classmates, and thank each other. And together, let's thank some very important threads from our educational experience. There's an old Irish saying that says, quote, "It is in the shelter of others that we live our lives." We went to school every day in the shelter of people that worked hard for us, sacrificed for us, supported us, and taught us basically everything we know. So, to the bus drivers and custodians who made sure we got to school safely and cleaned up after us, we thank you. To the administration, district workers, Mr. Chapwick, to the entire school staff, secretaries, counselors, and registrar, we love and thank you. To Mr. Sifferman, Mr. Malone, and Mrs. Whitmire, who started her journey here as principal when we were freshmen, and who has done a great job leading our school, we thank you. And of course, last but not least, our parents and guardians, we thank you. Personally, there are another few contributing threads that make up the fabric of my experience that I would like to thank. Mrs. Sumter for providing me with wonderful musical opportunities and for keeping the band together when we were unable to practice together in person. Mrs. Kelly for inspiring me to pursue chemistry. Mr. McMahon for being a cool dude who knows a ton of math, Mr. Rudd for ensuring that we know the supreme law of the land, Mrs. Rose for teaching us how to appreciate literature and write any kind of essay, Mr. Meyer for showing us the importance of sustainable agriculture and encouraging us to think about the earth we stand on a little more. Thank you to all the high school teachers and staff whom I've had the pleasure of knowing, and thank you for all the memories. Thank you to my teachers at Sultan Middle School. I have many great memories from all my classes at SMS and from the DC trip. Thank you Sultan Elementary and Goldbar Elementary. Those of us that were Huskies will remember learning to read in the library with Mr. Franklin, and I remember that it was in Mrs. Tubbs' kindergarten class that my love for education was established. And a lot of us remember Mrs. Scadden, my wonderful 4th and 5th grade teacher, who I know would be here right now and who is with us in our memories. I would like to thank my parents who not only gave me the best part of themselves, but also my best friend and little brother, Luke. I thank you. I will never be able to give enough thanks to my close friends who know who you are, and thank you to my girlfriend. You were all by my side through this journey, and I owe it to you for the best and most fun memories through this experience and in my life. Now, we get to take all those memories, all that education, and all that love and go out and make the world a better place. At first, I wasn't sure what advice to give you tonight. Should I continue with the metaphor of shelter, urging you to be the shelter in other people's lives and to give to others around you? I could continue with the analogy of us being threads in the fabric of each other's lives and urge you to continue to weave with joy, gratitude, and peace, patterns into the tapestry of your future. But that's a little serious, so instead I'll read the responses from my friends when I ask them on what to say tonight. Listen to your heart, forgive often, be yourself, don't go to jail, take lots of pictures. Follow your dreams, all you need is love, always take the high road, be a lifelong learner, pray a lot, never give up, and the rest is a bunch of memes and song recommendations. But everything we need to know in life is in a meme or song somewhere. And finally, remember classmates and friends, the threads of my tapestry, you will always have purpose, you will always be worthy, and you will always be loved. Follow your dreams. Thank you.
100 years ago, in 1922, Sultan High School had its largest graduating class to date, 15 students. Of those graduates, one went on to the University of Washington, go Huskies. Another went on to become a nurse. This year, the salutatorian of the class of 2022 plans to complete her associate's degree and then transfer to the University of Washington to pursue a degree in nursing. Please welcome our salutatorian, Janie Grady.
Hello faculty, family, friends, and class of 2022. It is both an honor and a privilege to be up here today giving a speech as a salutatorian. I was nervous, I'm still nervous, after hearing that I would get the chance to come here in front of everyone and give a short speech. But I knew I was going to regret it if I didn't. I would like to congratulate all the graduates here as we've worked so hard to get here today, attending classes, staying up late for assignments, and stressing over presentations. If high school taught us one thing, it would be to how to efficiently procrastinate. I've learned that there's two types of people. Those who procrastinate, and those who lie about it. This lifelong skill will most definitely help you in the future, even though adults never procrastinate. If I had to give the class of 2022 one piece of advice, it would be to always be early. I know we tend to procrastinate in everything we can, but try to show up early places. Try to show up early to places in your life. Show up early for dates, job interviews, work, or going to family gatherings. I can guarantee that everyone else will appreciate it. I'm giving this piece of advice because I was always late to my sports medicine class. Ms. Barnell has always shown me great leniency as I would be driving to the high school right after my college class. If it wasn't for her, not gonna lie, sorry Mom, I would have been marked heavy every single day. So thank you for the past 2 years, Ms. Barnell, you gave me. She's been a great inspiration to me, and I hope to become a great nurse like her. Before I step down, I would have a few more thank yous to give. My mom for driving me to and from events. My dad for helping me with math, even through all the tears and the arguments that took place at the kitchen kitchen table. My sisters, Cindy, Christy, Kaylin, and Jessica, for helping me become stronger and making me look better in front of mom and dad. And put those signs down, I'm sick and tired of seeing them. I'd like to thank Senior Frame for being patient and being such a great teacher. I wish you all the luck in the future in your next adventure. I'd also like to thank my fellow classmates for all the memories. We worked so hard to get here today, and I'm very grateful that I'm a part of the graduating class that gets to have a normal, in-person graduation rather than a drive-through graduation. Congrats, class of 2022.
Sultan High School had our first graduation in 1911. Since then, we've had 122 commencement ceremonies. One tradition is that the senior class votes on a staff member to speak at graduation. Speaking at 28% of all Sultan High School graduations is a staff member that appreciates history. Please welcome Miss Andrea Fuller.
Good evening, everyone. Graduates, and those who are super happy that they are graduates. My name is Andrea Fuller, and I'm honored tonight to have been selected faculty speaker by the students of the class of 2022. I'm especially happy because now I even know what most of them look like. As a person who's been doing this education thing a long time, I can tell you that each class that matriculates through Sultan High School has their own unique characteristics, their own personality, and their own language and vocab. I know this because frequently I do not know what they are talking about. As an example, about midway through the year, a student said something to me, and although I didn't hear the entire statement, I did hear the word fit. I knew that unless they had vision problems, no student was describing me as fit. So based on the questioning look on my face, she repeated that she liked my fit, as in my outfit. So for the benefit of those in the audience, I offer you 22 vocab words for the class of 22. In addition to fit, we have situationship. It's a new version of it's complicated. In the category of things that mean good, we have drip and lit, and gossip is now tea. If you're a fan, but also maybe a little bit of a stalker, it's called standing. And if you hear your kids say chuggy about you, it's not good. It means you're dressing out of date or trying way too hard. And if your child finishes a sentence with the word period, that's period with a T at the end, they are telling you in no uncertain terms that they are done with this conversation. And my favorite of the new terms is mukbang, online videos about binge eating for money. This might be the show that beats out The Price is Right as far as the one I think I would be good at. This class also learned a whole new section of medical vocab, because perhaps even more than the previous drive-through graduation classes, their high school experience has been most affected by our recent history. They can easily use in conversation virus and airborne, quarantine and shutdown. They learn there's more than one kind of learning environment besides school. There's synchronous and asynchronous and remote and hybrid, although asynchronous just seemed to mean play video games to y'all. When we came back to school, they learned what exposure to a close contact was and about nasal swabs and rapid tests, and that didn't mean your geography final was only going to take 15 minutes. They wore masks and perhaps got a vaccine and maybe a booster, and made it through a crazy 27 months to get to tonight. Some struggled at times, some adjusted just fine, and some thrived, regardless of the environment. But ultimately, all here did what was necessary to earn their diploma. And I think for these guys, that means something a little bit more tonight than the times I've given this speech in the past. So congratulations, and may you never have a once-in-a-lifetime historical event to live through again. Because of the Rona, this class is heading to an even more challenging real world, in that it is such a changing one. Choosing a learning environment for college never used to be a thing. You just went. A constantly changing workplace environment as far as office or remote, and the uncertainties of some careers is a challenge my generation certainly didn't face in the same way. I mean, we were mostly worried about getting the horses hitched up to the buggy right so we could get to school on time. I try to help students in my class stay away from the either-or mentality that pervades our society, because all issues, simple and complicated, involve nuance, and we need to get back to understanding that. So to help kids, I frequently say two things can be true. So in the category of two things can be true, graduates, it's true that you've had to struggle more than others in this COVID world, and also, no one cares anymore. Your future bosses and professors and co-workers don't care, and I'll tell you, your drill sergeant certainly doesn't care. You have, in all likelihood, heard the phrases, give them grace and social and emotional learning for the last time. Moving forward, people are going to expect that you do what it is you're supposed to do when it is you're supposed to do it. It's not, however, the last time you're going to hear advice. Miss Kelly and I must partially share a brain because we both wrote about the idea of passion, although that's where the sharing is going to stop. The world tells you, find your passion and you'll never work a day in your life. And for me, what BS that is. Well, wait, let me phrase that more professionally. It's a false narrative. First of all, that's a really high bar. I have a brother and two sisters, and only one of us is currently employed in our passion. And it's not me. I mean, if I had found my passion, I'd have a career as a taste tester for the Mars chocolate and Frito-Lay snack food companies. So if that was passion 1A, then teaching in public education was 1B. And even though I am pretty passionate about it, dude, y'all are work. I mean, have you met Alan, or Chloe, or Hondro, or Nolan, or Mr. Rudd's entire fourth period class, for that matter? And you're, in theory, relatively independent, almost adults. Imagine how much work freshmen and sophomores are. Look, I'm going to give you this advice. Find something you generally like to do with people you generally like to do it with that pays you fairly or better depending on what your life spending goals are. Let's start there. That's the low bar. I'm guessing the guy who fixed my septic system didn't get there by chasing his passion. But given that I paid him almost $9,000 for 3 days in my backyard, I think he's probably doing just fine without his passion being his work. And just because something isn't your passion doesn't mean you can't be good at it and that you can't like it for the time being. It wasn't my passion to work in restaurants through college, but I liked it, and I made tip money, and I got free food 3 or 4 nights a week. Those were employment wins in that time in my life. And I learned lifelong transferable job skills, like showing up for work every day, showing up on time, working with a variety of different people, and dealing with customers. So in the category of two things can be true, you may find yourself in a job that doesn't scream long-term, and you can still benefit from whatever time you spend there. The same can be said if we substitute class and or professor you don't really like for job next fall. Just make the best of it. I'll leave you tonight with 2 quotes. One I looked up because I needed new material. Award-winning composer, playwright, and Broadway star Lin-Manuel Miranda said in his commencement address at the University of Pennsylvania, quote, "My dear terrified graduates, you are about to enter the most uncertain and thrilling period of your lives. The stories you are about to live are the ones you will be telling your children, your grandchildren, and your therapists. And although I hope you don't need a therapist in the long term, your life will not be without further struggles. So use your good decision-making and coping skills to persevere through them and move forward. Always move forward." The second quote is the one on the wall behind my desk from one of my childhood idols, tennis player Arthur Ashe. Quote, "Start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can." This is especially true when life or part of it seems absolutely overwhelming, and you just can't see your way out of the mire. Start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can. Class of 2022, congratulations and very well done.
The Sultan School District has provided alternative educational programs for students who seek instruction outside the traditional educational setting. For the past couple of years, we've had students complete their graduation requirements through Sky Valley Options High School and Sultan Virtual Academy, and they joined Sultan High School in celebrating those accomplishments. This year, we'll be celebrating the seniors from SVO, SVA, and SHS. Tonight, we have 99 students ready to make an impact on our world. After our graduation ceremony, please visit our grad wall that's at the entrance of the Commons when you come and you can come and see some of the future plans of our graduates. Sultan High School also provides opportunities for students like Running Start in college and high school. Many of our graduates have already earned college credits as they earn their high school diplomas this evening. The class of 2022 has 4 students that are finishing up their requirements this month to earn their associate's degree. Please congratulate Faith Chersvik, Justin Magruder, Seth Sorgen, and Genevieve Wilkinson for this special accomplishment. For the presentation of the class of 2022, I would like to introduce Sultan graduate and principal, Mrs. Sarita Whitmire-Skeeth, and for the acceptance of the class, Sultan School Board Chairman, Russ Sumter.
Wonderful to see all the faces in the stands, and it's a beautiful day. So whoever ordered that, thank you. I would like to thank the families for trusting us to educate and prepare your students for their next journey. It has been a privilege to partner with you and work with your students. It's also been fun to work with these students. At this time, would the class of 2022 please rise? Sultan Board of Directors and Superintendent Chaplain, it is an honor and privilege to present to you the graduating class of 2020 for Sultan High School, Sky Valley Options High School, and Sultan Virtual Academy. As the principal of SHS, I confirmed with SVO and SVA administrator, and I certify that each student that walks across this stage has met the requirements for graduation, as set forth by the Sultan School District and the state of Washington.
It is my distinct honor and privilege to accept the Sultan High School, SVO, and SVA graduating class of 2022.
The class of 2022 has asked Assistant Principal Mr. Ryan Malone to read their names as they walk across the stage to receive their diploma covers. While this is done, we know that this is a special occasion for each graduate and their family. Please be respectful for all of the graduates and make sure that the celebrations for one student allow for the same opportunities for the next. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Zifferman. You guys ready? Just like we practiced it. Nancy Joanne Davis. Gage Patrick Jack Sherman. Richard Joseph Johnston. Destiny Hope Owens. Janie Grady. Alexandra Yang. Genevieve Cecilia Wilkinson. Alexandra Lou DeBach. Katie Elizabeth Baranian Schlegel. Taya May Werner. Jacqueline Rosemary Orlana Alfaro. Patricia Pelagio Negretti. Sandra Guadalupe Valera Gonzalez. Valeria Ramos. Emily Navarrete. Pania Lee. Ivan Montano Rodriguez. Alejandro Sanchez Avalos. Alan Shagoya Milian. Jose Padilla Pulido. Juan Acosta Ocampo. Alfonso Isael Saldana Medina. Maddie Lynn Clough. Chloe Claire Campbell Chenoweth. Justin Magruder. Ronald Blake. Ian Wittenberg. Andrew Michael Gossett. Ariana Zapata Oliva. Brisbani Favela Jimenez. Skylar Marshall. Cassandra Weber. Jean Steele. Naomi Rose Payne. Xander James Alford. Rachel Hedger. Sky Blue Henderson. Emily Jean Johnson. James Harris. Courtney Ann Engbaum. Daniel Wayne Kraus. Logan Dubois. Cooper Johnson. Lily Catherine Grace Quillman. Audrey Gilbo. Isabella Ariana Milian Barsonis. Jaden Greider. Gideon Gashane. Chad Allen Berlin. Kayla Hope Thorson. Chaz Radley Bush. Jeremy James Ripley. Seth Sorgen. Tyler Bradley Sargent. Gavin Michael Snellgrove. Robert Garner Tudor. Daisy Arise Martinez Jimenez. Dulce Jasmine Pulido Cerna. Vanessa Ordaz Mata. David Oliva Molina. Matthew Raymond Swanberg. Kailani Ballard. Austin Ray Shanks. Cesar Jimenez Alatorre. Ismael Cerna. Patricia Cerna Aguilar. Nolan James McMahon. Christopher Leone. Camilla Santos. Grace Allison Trichler. Brandon Christensen. Hunter Evan Kelly. Tommy Colin Arton. Howie Graham. Felicity Tara Fields. Christopher Douglas. Faith Joe Chersvik. Cameron James Gunderson. Ji Woo Cho. Paige Nicole Catlin. Sawyer James Christensen. Ava Eliana Christensen. Oscar Eduardo Vaca. Wyatt Newton. Brianna Marshall. Riley Nicole St. Pierre Perales. Andrew Allen Turner. Elliot Perez Ramos. Daniel Charles Delcom. Elizabeth Wenty. Gwendolyn English. Elizabeth Evans. Miguel Santana Hernandez. Silvio Diaz. Jason Earl Gilreath Jr. Nathan Michaela Kraus. Anna Capps. Anne-Marie Lynn Allen.
All right, members in the audience, if you're a graduate from Sultan High School, please raise your hand. We have 99 young men and women who are ready to join you as Sultan alum. In order for that to happen, I would like to invite back Nancy Davis to return to the stage to complete her last duty as the senior class president.
Class of 2022, please rise. Please turn your tassel from the right to the left. Now join me on the track as we do the traditional cap toss. On the count of 3, we'll toss. 1, 2, 3.
Congratulations, class of 2022. We will have a short reception in the Commons. We invite all of you to come on up and be a part of that, and our seniors can get their diplomas. Thank you, everybody.